Yeah. Todd will present. Todd? Oh, during the public hearing?
Making it, I go, presenter, and then that's what you share an idea. However you do it, yeah. You don't bump keep.
Okay.
Hey, you want to split this? I said, go see that. Hey, what do you call it?
No.
Mike's not going to make it tonight.
You better get here soon.
Just today, I'm like, well, bring your stuff. Behind the wall. Just like there was an accident. Just before
I'm ready whenever you are. I'm going to put the mics on. We're recording.
Okay.
we got just a minute.
Sure.
Pretty good today. We're just about there.
Yep.
T minus 1 minute.
We're recording.
Goodie bag. All right.
Yellow.
Goodie bag.
Wheels go round and round. Eddie,
Michael was
yeah, it was that single wing, so like 20 minutes.
It's a long recovery, but
So,
Okay, I'm going to call the public hearing to order for this evening for Tuesday, January 13th, 2026. Ask for the clerk to please call the roll.
Trustee LaRosa is absent. Trustee Bishki.
Present.
Trustee Madej.
Present.
Trustee Sullivan.
Present.
Trustee Clare.
Present.
Trustee Patel is absent. President Daly.
Present. The item this evening is, this is a public hearing for the establishment of a special service area taxing district number 17, the district at Veridian. And who's, anyone talking on this one in particular? Is it Todd? Julie. Okay, thank you. So Julie, if you would just give us the background on this. We do have, of course, all the material on it, so a brief would be fine.
I will be brief.
Thank you.
As you know, the district at Veridian is the Main Street portion of the redevelopment of the former Motorola campus. It's a unique development for the village. And to go along with that, some of the streets and the streetscapes are also unique. They are also building, as part of Phase 1, a public parking garage, which will be owned by the village. However, they will be maintaining it. And as I mentioned, the streetscapes that I mentioned, they will also be maintaining. So there is an agreement that the board had previously approved that sets forth the maintenance standards and the provisions for both parties. This is a special service area that would only be enacted if the developer, the owner of the property, does not fulfill their obligations for maintenance. And so it lays dormant unless we need to enact the SSA, and then the taxing district could be enacted. We could levy taxes, and the village would take over on the maintenance items and then recoup that cost. To set this up, there is a required public hearing, and that is the meeting that's being held tonight.
Okay. Questions, comments from the board? Okay, seeing none, I don't,
There's no action.
okay, there's not specific action here.
No recommendation, just to hold the
Right.
hearing.
Comments from the public.
I am going to get to that. Okay. So there's no specific action on here. Next item is comments from the public on this item. If there's anyone who wishes to address the board regarding this specific item, please come forward and hold forth. Seeing none, look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We are adjourned. You ready? Okay. I'm going to now call the regular Schaumburg Village Board meeting to order for Tuesday, January 13th. First item is the call to order. Ask the village clerk to please call the roll.
Trustee LaRosa is absent. Trustee Bishki.
Present.
Trustee Madej.
Present.
Trustee Sullivan.
Present.
Trustee Clare.
Present.
Trustee Patel is absent. President Daly.
Present. I do ask that if you have any electronic devices, that you please turn them off so that you not disturb the meeting that we have this evening. Next item is Pledge of Allegiance. I'd like to ask Trustee Bishki if he would lead us in a Pledge
Please
of
rise and
Allegiance.
join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item is the approval of minutes from the December 9th, 2025 regular meeting. Any questions, comments?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion and a second to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is the approval of the minutes from December 9th, 2025 public hearing. Questions, comments?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And lastly, the approval of minutes from December 9th, 2025 executive session. Any questions, comments?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is the approval of expenditures in the amount of $18,690,108.56.
Move to approve as presented.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the expenditures as presented. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee LaRosa is absent. Trustee Bishki.
Aye.
Trustee Madej.
Aye.
Trustee Sullivan.
Aye.
Trustee Clare.
Aye.
Trustee Patel is absent.
4 ayes, no nays. Motion carries. Thank you. And we have presentations. This is a presentation of the 2025 MENA and Full Service Owners Conference Award winner by Dieter Heigl, General Manager of the Renaissance Schaumburg Hotel and Convention Center. Please come forward.
President Daly, members of the board, I'm here on behalf of Marriott International and the Renaissance Schaumburg Hotel. As you know, this year is 20 years where Marriott and Renaissance have managed your hotel here in Schaumburg. It is an absolute pleasure to do so. And Marriott annually presents a minor award to about 25 to 30 hotel owners for their partnership throughout the years. In 2025, this award was presented to the Village of Schaumburg at a ceremony back in November. Unfortunately, attendance conflicted with another event. So I'm here to present two things. I have a letter here from David Marriott, signed by David Marriott to present, as well as a plaque that was presented to you all for the partnership over the years. So this trophy is for you to present, and I'd like to present that to Mayor Daley, President Daley, for your partnership and your leadership over the years. So I just want to say thank you for that, and this is for you to have.
Well, I accept this on behalf of the Village of Schaumburg. I want you to come over here. You want to get a picture? No. Oh, okay. Yeah, one way or the other. Here, you and I both hold this. How's that?
Take it out.
Yeah, carefully. It's heavy. Okay. Now I'll let you hold that. Oh, okay. All right. Two hands. Okay. How's that? Okay. Thank you. Yeah, get back in there. All right, well, we'll have to figure out if we actually put that here or if we
At
take
the
it
hotel?
at the hotel.
We have to
which-
just store that for.
Yeah, it might be a better place, so we'll have a look at it first and then we'll go from there, so, thank you very much.
And I have a signed letter by David Marriott for you to go with.
Oh, okay.
So
Go
that's
flip
for
it.
you.
Another picture.
Yeah, oh,
Another
do
picture?
another picture, okay, all right.
You gotta have too many pictures.
Too many pictures.
Yeah, too many pictures, yeah, okay, there we
Never
go.
enough.
Yep, yeah, figured that. Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, next item is presentation of the Digital City Award by Peter, Director of Information Technology. Good evening, Peter.
Good evening. I'm pleased to announce the Village of Schaumburg has been awarded the 8th place finish in the 2025 Digital Cities Survey. This survey is conducted annually by the Center for Digital Government and is open to cities, towns, villages, and city-county governments across the United States. It provides a comprehensive evaluation of how communities manage and leverage technology. The Digital Cities Survey examines a broad range of technology and operational areas, including IT strategy and priorities, citizen engagement, cybersecurity, data analytics, budgeting and investment, staffing, innovation, and connectivity. Schaumburg's performance in this survey has been very consistent over the years. We have placed in the top 10 for 17 consecutive years and 21 out of the past 23 years. Survey participants are grouped by population size. Schaumburg competes in the category of 75,000 to 125,000, which means we are evaluated alongside communities that are, in many cases, much larger. In fact, Schaumburg is the smallest community by population in the top 10, making this achievement particularly noteworthy. This is an organizational award. It reflects the hard work, expertise, and dedication of the information technology staff. It also recognizes strong partnership and support between the village manager and deputy village manager as we work collaboratively on budgeting, strategy development, and priority setting. Additionally, this ranking reflects the continued support of the village board, whose review and funding of key initiatives make these outcomes possible. And finally, it acknowledges all of the department heads and all the departments they represent as they consistently challenge and collaborate with IT to improve services every day. So with that, I am pleased to present the village manager and village board with this plaque recognizing the Village of Schaumburg's 8th place ranking in the 2025 Digital Cities Surveys for communities with population between 75,000 and 125,000.
Okay. I get the, well, for a little bit. We'll pass it around. Okay. We'll get it back to you. To a place somewhere. Okay.
I have blank walls right now. Put it in mine.
All right, moving on. We have liquor license requests. We have a request from Mr. Chong Shu. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Are you here?
We're here.
Yes, please. Come up for one Class K liquor license for Chicago Food Corporation, Schaumburg Market, located at 1111 East Gulf Road. New owner.
Actually, our business license had a change of name.
Okay.
So, through the renewal process, we were told we need to apply for a new license, but Chicago Food Corporation is the parent company to Schaumburg Market.
Okay, so that still remaining the same, it's just a change of the...
Correct, it's just the name.
owners, yeah, okay.
Correct.
Okay, all right, questions, comments, existing business? Nothing else is changing, everything's remaining the same?
Exactly, it's just the
Yeah.
name.
Okay, all right, that's fine. No, if there's no questions from the board, then you'll need to continue discussion with the Liquor Commissioner's office, which is also the mayor's office.
Yes.
Talking to Magdalena and continue with getting the paperwork done and getting this approved.
We'll do so.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Great, thank you
You're
very
welcome to
much.
stay or leave, so. Next item is a request from Si Bin, not sure I'm pronouncing that correctly, Patel, for one Class B liquor license for Drink Right Liquor of Schaumburg, located at 510. Please come forward. West Gulf Road. Okay. And you are nope, yes, come on up. And you are
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, you are a new owner.
Yes,
Okay, all right. So this is an existing business, but a new owner. Is it the same name, or is this a different name?
it's going to be Drink Right Liquor of Schaumburg.
Okay, so you've changed the name, you're changing the name too, but, okay. But it's already existed there, is that correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's from
Yeah.
last 30 years.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Planning any other changes for the location?
No, not right now.
Okay, all right. Questions, comments from the board? No? Okay. Then you will need to continue the process with talking with the Liquor Commissioner's office during normal business hours, and finish all the paperwork, payment of fees, background check, et cetera, and all that, and then a liquor license will be issued. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. You're welcome to stay or leave. Okay, moving on, we have a consent agenda. The consent agenda will be read in its entirety, voted on as one motion to approve. If you wish to discuss an item further, please indicate that when the item is read by the village clerk so that it can be removed from the consent agenda and discussed further under committee reports. Otherwise, all items will be approved as presented on the consent agenda in one motion to approve. And will the clerk please read the consent agenda?
Number 9, liquor licenses. A. The motion would be to approve the request from Mr. William Solomon of St. Gregory of Nyssa Parish for one Class D one-day liquor license for the bingo event on Sunday, January 18th, 2026, from 3:30 until 5:30 p.m. at 1451 West Bodie Road, and waive the fee. B. The motion would be to ratify the request from Mr. William Solomon of St. Gregory of Nyssa Parish for one Class D one-day liquor license for the feast event on Saturday, January 10th, 2026, from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. at 822 Springinsguth Road, and waive the fee. 10, correspondence. A. The motion would be to ratify the request from the Japanese Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Chicago, JCCC, for a raffle, for her raffle held on January 11th, 2026 at the Renaissance Schaumburg Hotel and Convention Center located at 1551 Thoreau Drive, to approve a variance to Chapter 117.31 since the retail value is over $1,000 for any one prize, and the total retail value of all prizes is estimated to exceed $25,000. B. The motion would be to approve the request from Viper Owners Association of Illinois to hold a raffle on February 14th, 2026 at the Marriott Hotel located at 50 North Martingale Road, Schaumburg, Illinois, to approve a variance to Chapter 117.31 since the ticket price is greater than $5, and to waive the fidelity bond requirement. 11, engineering and public works. A. The motion would be to waive competitive bidding and approve the purchase of one aerial truck with Runyon equipment of Hodgkins, Illinois, in the amount of $308,641. B. The motion would be to authorize the village clerk to execute the utilization of Illinois Motor Fuel Tax funds for Braintree Drive, Bodie Road to Schaumburg Road to Weathersfield Way, and Weathersfield Way to Wise Road improvements, and approve the required resolutions. C. The motion would be to authorize the village clerk to execute the utilization of Illinois Motor Fuel Tax funds for McConnor Parkway reconstruction project, Meacham Road to Roosevelt Road and Meacham Road to Roosevelt Boulevard and Roosevelt Boulevard to Gulf Road, and approve the required resolutions. D. The motion would be to authorize the village president to execute an intergovernmental agreement for an emergency water interconnect with the Village of Hoffman Estates, and approve the required emergency water interconnect with the Village of Hoffman Estates, and approve the required resolution. E. The motion would be to authorize participation in the Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Contract and award the purchase of fitness equipment to Life Fitness LLC of Chicago, Illinois, in the amount of $109,181.82. F. The motion would be to approve the participation in ISAWWA Water Ambassador Program and authorize staff to pursue Water Ambassador Community Certification for the Village of Schaumburg, including implementation of outreach initiatives and promotion of the Water 123 Guide for elected officials. G. The motion would be to approve completion of bidding plans and specifications for fiscal year 26-27 street improvement program. H, the motion would be to approve ratification of expenditures for the American Lane and Plaza Drive improvements with Builders Paving LLC of Hillside, Illinois, in the amount of $86,880.20. I, the motion would be to approve the amendment to the Municipal Code 15 Land Usage Chapter 150 Flood Control. J, the motion would be to accept the subject improvements as depicted in the exhibits, waive the requirement for maintenance bond, and direct staff to obtain a bill of sale at no cost to the village from Experior Group LLC for the subject improvements, and approve the required resolution. 12, Committee of the Whole. The motion would be to accept the multi-year capital improvement plan and approve the projects for fiscal year 26-27 for incorporation into the budget. 13, Transportation Committee. The motion would be to authorize the village president and village clerk to execute an intergovernmental agreement with the Village of Hoffman Estates for Phase 1 preliminary engineering services for Higgins Road, Illinois 72, bike path improvements, and approve the required resolution. B, the motion would be to authorize the village manager and village clerk to execute an agreement with Strand Associates, Inc. of Illinois for Phase 1 preliminary engineering services for Weathersfield Way improvements, Salem Drive to Roselle Road, in the amount of $207,073.70, and approve the required resolution. 14, Zoning Board of Appeals. The motion would be to approve a site plan amendment, parking variations, landscape variations, and business operations variation for New Stone Design, Inc., 1475 Rodenberg Road. B, the motion would be to approve a site plan amendment for the site modifications and landscape variations for Neos Eclectic Mediterranean, 680 Mall Drive. C, the motion would be to approve a special use for a daycare center and site plan amendment for Firefly Daycare, 129 South Roselle Road. D, the motion would be to approve an amendment to approved shopping center signage plan for Woodfield Village Green, 1400 to 1472 East Gulf Road. E, the motion would be to approve a site plan
Vote,
approval.
please.
Thank you. 15, award of bid. The motion would be to award the bid for the engineering and public works material storage bin rebuild project to the lowest responsible bidder, Carmichael Construction of Marengo, Illinois, in the amount of $459,372. B, the motion would be to award the bid for the North Braintree and Bodie Lift Station Basin Manhole Rehabilitation Project to the lowest responsible bidder, Kim Construction, Inc. of Steger, Illinois, in the amount of $886,495. 16, traffic agreements. A, the motion would be to authorize the village manager to execute the traffic agreement by and between the Village of Schaumburg and 100 West Gulf Road LLC located at 180 West Higgins Road. B, the motion would be to authorize the village manager to execute the traffic agreement by and between the Village of Schaumburg and MRE Schaumburg LLC doing business as Cloud 9 Cannabis located at 1823 Wise Road. C, the motion would be to authorize the village manager to execute the traffic agreement by and between the Village of Schaumburg and Hydac Technologies Hydraulic Division located at 2050 Mitchell Boulevard. 17, resolutions. The motion would be to adopt as resolution number R-26-001, authorizing the utilization of a motor fuel tax funds for the Braintree Improvement Project from Schaumburg Road to Bodie Road. B, the motion would be to adopt as resolution number R-26-002, authorizing the utilization of a motor fuel tax funds for the Braintree Improvement Project from Weathersfield Way to Schaumburg Road. C, the motion would be to adopt as resolution number R-26-003, authorizing the utilization of a motor fuel tax funds for the Braintree Improvement Project from Wise to Weathersfield Way. D, the motion would be to adopt as resolution number R-26-004, authorizing the utilization of motor fuel tax funds for the McConnor Parkway Improvement Project from Meacham Road to Roosevelt Road. E, the motion would be to adopt as resolution number R-26-005, authorizing the utilization of a motor fuel tax funds for the McConnor Parkway Improvement Project from Roosevelt Road to Gulf Road. F, the motion would be to adopt as resolution number R-26-006, authorizing the village to execute an intergovernmental agreement for an emergency water interconnect with the Village of Hoffman Estates. G, The motion would be to adopt as resolution number R-26-007, accepting public improvements, Metro access roadway, sidewalks, streetlights, water main, and storm sewer for the Experior development. H, the motion would be to adopt as resolution number R-26-008, authorizing the village president and village clerk to execute an intergovernmental agreement with the Village of Hoffman Estates for Phase 1 preliminary engineering for the Higgins Road, Illinois 72 Bike Path Project from Roselle Road to Glen Lake Road. I, the motion would be to adopt as resolution number R-26-009, authorizing the village manager and village clerk to execute an agreement with Strand Associates, Inc. of Joliet, Illinois for Phase 1 preliminary engineering services for Weathersfield Way improvements, Salem Drive to Roselle Road, in the amount of $207,073.70. 18, ordinances. A, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 26-001, granting a site plan amendment, parking variation, landscape variations, and business operations variation for New Stone Design, Inc., 1475 Rodenburg Road. B, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 26-022, granting a site plan amendment for site modifications and landscape variations for Neo's Eclectic Mediterranean, 680 Mall Drive.
That should be 002, not 022, correct?
002, that is correct, sorry. C, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 26-003, granting a special use for a daycare center and site plan amendment for Firefly Daycare, 129 South Roselle Road. D, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 26-004, granting an amendment to approved shopping center signage plan for Woodfield Village Green, 1400 to 1572 Gulf Road. E, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt
Hold,
as...
please.
Okay. F, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 26-005, amending Title IX, Chapter 99, Section 99.02 of the Schaumburg Village Code relative to local amendments and to the International Property Maintenance Code regarding heat supply. G, the motion would be to waive first reading and adopt as ordinance number 26-006, amending Title 15, Chapter 150 with regard to flood plan regulations. This concludes the consent agenda.
Thank you. Look for a motion to approve the consent agenda as read.
So moved.
Move to approve as read with item E under zoning board and item E under ordinances removed. Second.
Motion and a second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee LaRosa is absent. Trustee Bishki?
Aye.
Trustee Madej?
Aye.
Trustee Sullivan?
Aye.
Trustee Clare?
Aye.
Trustee Patel is absent.
All ayes, no nays, motion carries. Thank you very much. Next item is committee reports. At this point, the only item we have is the item that I had asked to be removed, which has to do with the Lober Farm. And all that is entailed with that. I want to, I know there's a number of people here in the audience that are interested in this as well. So I want to make a short little statement ahead of time. Want to make it clear that this is not a zoning board hearing. We have all of the material from the zoning board, okay? All the plans, everything that came down from there. We have 2 hours of commentary that is documented in 24 pages of minutes. We received 20 pages by staff documenting what this project's all about, and we have received numerous emails with individuals' commentaries. So we will not be rehearing this tonight. We will do a little summary of what this project's about, and then we will allow some comments from the audience, and then take a vote on it. So first, I would like to hear from the developer, someone from there. I think Mr. Nitti is going to do that. Oh, there you are. Okay. So again, in the purpose here of keeping this short, if you can keep it to just a few minutes, that would be helpful. Again, we have all the information and have had the opportunity to read if necessary. So Okay, so please tell us a little bit about what your purpose here, what the development's about.
Yep, sure. I'll read through our written statement here. So good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to share our plan for the Lowborough Farm community in Schaumburg. This is a well-designed neighborhood, and it's created to meet the area's growing housing needs. This project is led by Nitty Group. I'm Nico Nitty, one of the principals of Nitty Group. We're a developer, decades of experience. We've delivered many successful communities, one of them Summit Grove right here in Schaumburg. We're supported by a team of engineers, architects, and consultants. This is mostly of the same group that helped us complete Summit Grove. Lowborough Farm site is in prime Schaumburg location. It's near Meacham and Algonquin Road. Easy access to jobs, shopping, recreation, all of the great things that Schaumburg has to offer. So it's surrounded by existing residential neighborhoods, and it makes it a natural fit for this type of development. Our proposal includes a total of 122 homes, units, I should say. It's 30 single-family homes, 13 village homes, 42 townhomes, and 37 row homes. This mix is designed to meet the needs of today's buyers, from young professionals to empty nesters and everything in between. Nearly half the site will remain open space, and our Salt Creek restoration and stormwater management plan meets and exceeds all standards. Our market studies show strong demand for modern for-sale housing in Schaumburg, and this site is perfectly positioned to deliver that. We're building on the success of Summit Grove, and we're already seeing a high interest for this project. This community will include landscape pocket parks, walking paths, and green spaces that connect homes and amenities. Parking has been thoughtfully integrated to maintain a neighborhood feeling, and design emphasizes walkability and connectivity throughout. The project has already received a unanimous approval from the Zoning Board of Appeals, and we're here tonight seeking the Village Board support so we can move forward with this long-anticipated project. We're excited to take the next step and work together to make this project a reality. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to answering any questions you may have tonight.
Okay, thank you. Next, I'd like to ask someone from staff to come forward and just give us a staff review of the project. Again, brief. Thank you.
Good evening. For the record, Julie Fitzgerald, Director of Community Development. I think you all are familiar with the property that's commonly known as the Lowborough Farm property. It's 33 acres. It is on the very far end of the village. There's been a number of development proposals over the years that staff and at sometimes those have gotten to the zoning board, and sometimes they've gotten to the village board. Many more of them have been internal. This one in particular, as the developer said, and I'm not going to repeat everything the developer said, is all residential. It includes a mix of townhomes, row homes, and also single-family homes. As you know, the comprehensive plan calls for residential single-family homes, but staff is supportive of this project. In looking, we feel it's a good transition between the higher-density multifamily to the south and the lower-density single-family to the north, and we felt comfortable recommending approval of this. We also, I want to point out that in addition to the internal staff review, we use some external third-party consultants to do more specialized reviews to assist in our review. And in this case, we used 3 of those. We used an engineering firm to review the traffic study. We used another engineering firm who specializes in stormwater reviews to review the stormwater plan and also the wetland plan and the wetland study and materials for this, as well as the stormwater study. And so we have accepted the findings in those studies and are recommending approval that the project proceed. The actual, what you are approving tonight is the rezoning from R4, which is a large lot district, to R6 PUD. PUDs generally provide more flexibility in design. They can be more aesthetically pleasing. They're often used for more clustered development. A property like the Lowborough Farm that has a creek running through it and different topography where you kind of do want to cluster that and preserve the creek in the center of it is really kind of custom made for a PUD design. public hearing was held on December 10th, and as President Daley said, you have minutes and materials that summarize the public hearing. There were 2 conditions that were added after hearing testimony, and the zoning board discussed the matter at the public hearing, and both of those had to do with operations related to construction as opposed to changes to the proposed plan that you see. One of them was to limit the hours of construction, and those are included in the ordinance in front of you tonight. One of those are to limit the hours of construction so that construction would be prohibited on Sundays. And then on Monday through Saturday, it's limited to from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Typically, the village would allow construction to go until 9 p.m. on those days, and there would be some allowance on Sundays. So this is no construction on Sundays, no exterior construction. Once they're under roof, they can do things inside the homes. And then there's also a provision where the Director of Community Development could approve Sunday construction in an extenuating or a special circumstance. The other one is that the developer, Nitty Development, must provide some kind of a mechanism for residents to ask questions and report issues with the construction. So I think that will likely be a website of some sort with a contact person or a portal, but that has been written fairly broadly as one of the conditions in the ordinance, so there's some flexibility on setting that up. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Next person I'd like to call up is Chairman of the Zoning Board, Harry Raimondi, to provide some comments from the Zoning Board hearing and to indicate what the recommendation was from there.
Yes, Harry Raimondi, Chairman of the Zoning Board. On December 10th, 2025, we had the hearing for the Lober development. Many items were presented in the village's staff report and on the rezoning from R4 to R6. I'm going to repeat some of the things that Julie already said maybe. Staff does a wonderful job of presenting that information to us, and the zoning board reviewed it as well. And on that night, the residents and visitors were given time to speak. I think approximately 9 to 10 people spoke on the proposal. The properties include the single-family row houses and townhomes, all owner-occupied. I think that was an important item that was considered. Construction issues were discussed as an example of proposed having construction hours, and Julie just said that from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Very important, I'm sure, for the folks that live nearby. Only inside work to be allowed on Sundays, and the zoning board concurred with the staff report and voted unanimously to approve this project at 6-0. So we are very proud to serve on the village zoning board, and to hear hearings as this. We spend a lot of time, as the staff does, looking at these proposals. We don't take them lightly, and so I felt that we had a very good meeting. Lasted about 2 hours. I think the mayor said that already. So that's pretty much all I have.
Okay, thank you. Now I'm going to open it up for comments from the audience. It asks that if you wish to to address the board on this item, that you come on up, take you one at a time, keep your comments to 3 minutes or less, give us your name, address for the record, and hold forth. So if anyone's interested, please come forward.
Good evening. Rachel Barth, 4807 Greenwich Court. Am I good?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time and consideration this evening. This property is a vital part of the Salt Creek watershed, a watershed where any miscalculation or planning error of this development of this density can and will have a disastrous impact to the surrounding areas, including my own. This development calls for the removal of 350 mature trees, many of which are in great condition. Now, that should be a crime in and of itself, but those trees drink up 250,000 gallons of rainfall each year. And even with that, this property is still a major floodplain, and it does flood regularly. Now, that's what it's supposed to do. It floods, it keeps water out of the surrounding neighborhoods, and the trees pull that water in and keep the runoff to a minimum. If this development goes through, that water will have nowhere to go. Yes, it will sit in a detention pond for a short while, but it will spill back into the creek. That's how it's designed, and into the surrounding neighborhoods. With this insane density as well of this project, and even with all the planning, their own stormwater management report outlines that the runoff will be 8% worse. 8. There are 14 municipalities downstream of this creek. Are they prepared for that runoff to come their way? This is also extremely dense as it's drawn up. Yes, there's open space, but only in the floodplain. This is going from 100% green space to just 33% green space. They're seeking to rework and develop nearly every inch of land that they possibly can. They're seeking an exceptional amount of variances, all which drive density that's not necessary for any reason besides increasing profits. Asks to reduce lot widths by nearly half, and lot size minimums by more than half. These are cited as being difficult to adhere to by the developers, but in reality, poor planning or drive for more profits is what seems to be driving these asks. These homes will be on top of each other and will not align with the area where lot sizes are generous in their space between homes. Those guidelines exist for a reason. Why are we entertaining ignoring them now? Now, lastly, let's talk traffic. The traffic study that was completed by the developers is nearly 3 years old, and it does not represent the current conditions. There are developments now that did not exist when the study was completed. The new apartment complex being built at Viridian, the additional row homes, the Zurich building is also now at capacity. None of this could have or would have been adequately accounted for in a 2023 study. Every day, traffic is regularly backed up at a standstill from the junior high all the way to the light at Algonquin every day. I drive through there every day, and it is backed up. I know they're putting a middle lane in right outside the development, but that does not help me get in and out of my home and my neighborhood. The traffic conditions are not safe. There are no sidewalks. Accidents happen regularly. There have been fatalities. Yes, but we want to add more people and more traffic to this very busy road. I understand that this property can and will be developed at some point in time. I truly do. But this development is extreme, and the tree removal is very dense. It doesn't respect the land as it exists today, and it's too high of a stormwater management risk. This property would be better suited for minimal development or spaced out single-family homes, and I'd ask that Schaumburg take that into consideration when reviewing the proposed development and ultimately this plan be denied. Thank you for your time and consideration. Thank you very much.
Anyone else?
Good evening. Becky Booth, 3143 California Court. Since attending the zoning board meeting December 9th, I have despaired that the expertise you seek for making a decision about the Nitty development is not apparent on Schaumburg's zoning board.
You know what? I'm going to stop you right there. I've got your email, and I take exception to what you're saying, all right? I think it's absolutely wrong to chastise the zoning board, which has been doing this for years, and as a matter of fact, last year turned down a development that was far denser. And to come out and chastise and say that basically the people on the zoning board are incompetent is wrong. So I am not interested in listening to what you have to say. If you want to talk about this project and some of the particulars, such as the lady before you, that's great. But if you want to talk about the competency of the zoning board, I have an issue with that.
I think I was pointing out that there were some very disturbing comments made by members of the zoning board that indicated they did not have the necessary understanding of the flooding issue in particular, which, again, Rachel just clearly outlined.
Because that's, I know, a key point with everybody here. The flooding issue is going to be addressed by MWRD, IDNR, FEMA, OWR, Army Corps of Engineers, not the Village of Schaumburg. They're the ones who are addressing the creek and the flooding that is on that property. We are not the ones who are going to be approving that creek and its design. The creek will be deepened, it'll be widened, the shore will be strengthened, and it'll be changed. It'll be changed out a little bit, and the whole entire creek will be cleaned, new plantings put in there, and everything else. That's all being done under the direction and guidance of MWRD, and in particular IDNR, not the Village of Schaumburg. So if you have a beef, you need to go and talk to them, not to us. We cannot address what's upstream, we cannot address what's downstream. That's up to your communities. Rolling Meadows has to address that, or Palatine, or wherever it may be. So, you know, we can do what we can, and we will do everything we can to ensure that there is no impact on anyone else, but it's going to be limited. We will address what's on the property.
Okay, can I talk about traffic?
That ship sailed 5 years ago when the village or the city of Rolling Meadows decided that they did not want to widen the road, and they wanted to leave it as a rural 2-lane road. And now we're coming back and saying there's too much traffic there. There's going to be too much traffic there forever. It's never going to change. That's not going to change.
The fact is that the Meacham Road is presently a nightmare, as Rachel has outlined. So this construction process, even if Meacham Road were to be widened, it would never be in time to prevent the nightmare that's coming during construction. And to say that because people will work at home, that this population increase is not going to increase traffic is really not anything I could concur with. As we know, as
So you're saying
homeowners,
people are not working at home now.
well, as
Out of these 122 units, that there won't be people that'll be working at home. All this traffic is going to dump out into Meacham all at one time. Is that what you're saying?
no, I am saying
Well-
that increasing the population of this development by building this development is going to bring all kinds of traffic into the development with deliveries, with school buses, repair services, all the things that we already experience in our neighborhoods. Now they're trying to access from Meacham Road. And I think I said this at the zoning board meeting, I would think long and hard before I would buy in this property with one egress. It's bad enough for the rest of us on Meacham Road, but for the people who are going to actually live there and have to get in and out of that property or wait for others who are coming to get in and out, I think it sounds like a nightmare. And that's something
We
that,
have tried to address that by talking with the city of Rolling Meadows.
I think you're
on having
trying
a
to shut
northern-
me down, and this is my
having a northern
opportunity.
axis.
This is my opportunity to
And you-
speak, and I
you bring
really
up
don't
stuff that we've
appreciate
already
this.
had conversations with, and the city of Rolling Meadows refuses a northern access, so there is only going to be one at this point. I don't see how that's
I think
going to
because
change.
I sent you an email and you could look at that in advance, you decided I would not be allowed to speak tonight.
Go ahead,
So,
proceed.
no, I will concur that I'm done. Thank you.
Anyone else? For the last 25 years, the Village of Schaumburg has listened to at least 5 or 6 different developers present proposals on this property, 2 by the same developer alone. Each one's had unique development ideas and how they think best the property can be developed. Some clearly not better than others, and the village has turned those down. While the board liked the plan with the single-family homes that was presented a number of years ago, just economically was not feasible. The bridge, the lift station, put in potential huge costs on this developer. After the last proposal, the village went to great lengths to work with this developer to redesign this project to address all the concerns that residents had over these last 10 years in particular. Most recently, we worked with the developer to reduce the number of units by 2/3. 356 units down to 122. We eliminated all the rentals in favor of owner-occupied. We imposed single-family on the north half of the property. We required right turn lanes in and out of the property to make it safer. Required extensive work on the creek that runs through the property to help mitigate flooding on the property. Required a solid fence around the property and increased the landscaping. Yes, 350 trees will be removed. 815 will be planted. 2,200 shrubs, 3,300 ground covers, and 14,000 wetland plantings will go in play to cover that. I think the developer has complied with all the requests that this village has asked and heed the concerns of what the neighbors were looking for. Meacham Road is not going to change unless it gets widened. The residents in the area don't want it widened. Therefore, you're going to continue to have the traffic situations that you see. Based on that, I urge this board to approve this plan. Anyone else on the board wish to comment? I look for a motion.
I would move to accept the recommendation of the Zoning Board of Appeals to waive first reading and to adopt as ordinance 26-007, granting a site plan approval, special use for a PUD, special use to construct in the wetlands, streams, and aquatic resources protection overlay district, rezone from R4 to R6 PUD, preliminary and final site plan, or preliminary and final plat approval, plat of vacation, building setback variations, building height variation, parking variation, lot size variation, lot width variation, lot coverage variation, floor area ratio, FAR variation, and building height credit for Lober Farm Development, 2014 North Meacham Road.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee LaRosa is absent. Trustee Bischke?
Aye.
Trustee Madej?
Aye.
Trustee Sullivan?
Aye.
Trustee Clare?
Aye.
4 ayes, no nays. Motion carries. Look for a motion to approve ordinance number 26-006, an ordinance amending title, I'm sorry.
We just did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian took care of
You
it.
took care of the ordinance in there, ordinance 7. Thank you very much. The motion carries. Next item is comments from the public for general business of the village. If you wish to bring an item forth that's in relation to the village of Schaumburg's operation, please step forward. You have 3 minutes to speak. Give your name and address for the record. Moving on, council's report.
No report, Mayor. Thank you.
President's report. I have a number of appointments and resignations to tell the board. For the Bikeways Advisory Committee, and this is for all terms ending April 30th, 2026, the removal of Burke McDonald and the appointment of Robert Riddle. The Electrical Commission, the removal of Tom Lesowitz, retired December 31st, 2025. Plan Commission, the appointment of Tanva Vora, term ends April 30th, 2027. And the Schaumburg Business Development Commission, the removal of Brian Funa, appointment of Daniel Fox from Fox Sprinkler, and the appointment of Frank DeBarto, replacement for Mr. Funa, terms ending April 30th, 2026. Look for a motion to concur.
So moved.
Second.
Motion a second to concur. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Manager's report.
I just have 2 items. First, Happy New Year to everyone. Certainly look forward to working with the board and staff and community in 2026. I also want to highlight that as we begin the new year, 2026 marks a milestone moment for the Village of Schaumburg as we proudly celebrate our 70th anniversary. Throughout the year, the village will host a variety of special events, activities, and community-driven initiatives designed to honor Schaumburg's history, recognize the people who helped shape it, and celebrate the vibrant community that we are today. Planned efforts include anniversary-themed programs, historical exhibits, local business partnerships, interactive activities for residents to share memories, and outreach events woven into our signature village programming. Additional details, event information, and opportunities are available on our dedicated anniversary webpage at schaumburg.com/70 years, which will be updated throughout the year. We look forward to celebrating this milestone together and making 2026 a meaningful and memorable year for our entire community. Tonight on the dais, we have distributed several commemorative items to the members of the village board. We look forward to sharing those and additional items with members of the community as we move forward in 2026. So I thank the board for their support of this initiative and look forward to celebrating our 70th anniversary throughout the year. And that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. Trustee comments and mentions? Hearing none, look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
A motion, a second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you.
Paula, mics and issues.